Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm the last speaker of the last session, keeping you away from your social. So I'll make it short. Oh, I'm the second last, sorry. So I'm Jamyang, I'm from Bhutan. Today, I represent DrukREN and Bhutan Network Operators Group. I'm here to present on DrukREN's journey. DrukREN is like any other national research and education network, is a research and education network basically for the research and education community. So I'll be taking you through the DrukREN's journey, how we established national research and education in Bhutan, and how we contributed to strengthening internet ecosystem in Bhutan. So this is the outline of my presentation. I'll briefly walk through the RNE internet ecosystem and how we established Druk Research and Education Network, and present to you how we have expanded the reach of the National Research and Education Network in Bhutan and our future plan in weaving Bhutan's digital fabric. So this is the internet ecosystem in Bhutan. We are about 790,000 people. The adult population is almost 610,000. We have 165,000 households. Most of the households are located in the rural, remote areas. In terms of the mobile penetration, we have achieved about 106%. But if you look at the unique number mobile subscribers, there are about 607,000, which is equivalent to the adult population. When it comes to the fixed internet service statistics, while 99.6% of Bhutan's household has internet access, it is relying on the mobile broadband infrastructure. Only 11% of the total household has now fixed internet service. We have a Royal University of Bhutan, which has 9 colleges in total, and they are spread across the country. Okay? And the Royal University of Bhutan has 8,000 plus users capacity, including the lecturers, including the students. So this was the connectivity before 2018, before we had a national research and education network in Bhutan. So all the 9 colleges spread across the country were connected to the internet with a very limited bandwidth. Some of the colleges were connected using 15 Mbps, some were connected 30, and most of the colleges were connected with 50 megabit limited internet subscription bandwidth. And there was a major issue because then if the colleges, if they wanted to collaborate, if they wanted to carry out research activities with a limited bandwidth capacity, they were not able to do so. And regardless of their destination, regardless of whether they are accessing the domestic contents or the international hosted contents, they were limited to this internet speed. And at the same time, most of the colleges were paying about $70 per Mbps per month as per the 2017 Forex rate. The internet was very, very expensive for the colleges and for the students, right? So then we started this. How we all started? We started with the Sussex Information Highway project. My agency was implementing this ADB-funded Sussex Regional Network project, which was conceptualized way back in 2002-2003 with an objective to replace the then satellite connectivity for Bhutan with fiber. So in 2002-2003, we did not have international fiber connectivity. We were relying on the satellite. So this project started, but the implementation only started in 2009. By then, the internet service providers in Bhutan, they already had established their own international fiber infrastructure. So they were importing international bandwidth using fiber, not satellite anymore. So the ISPs were not interested to use the Sussex regional network that we have built. So then, at the same time in January 2014, we hosted SANOC 23, South Asia Network Operators Group 23. and the Network Startup Resource Center team, Philip Smith, Dr. Philip Smith, and other NSRC experts were in Bhutan. They were carrying out SINAP 23 workshop, just like they did this week for the mnNOG. And we discussed on how we could repurpose SASEC regional network. So that's how the Druk Research and Education Network was born. And in August 2014, continuing our discussion with NSRC, Dr. Philip Smith and TN4 representative from South Korea, they visited Bhutan, and we came up with a plan to repurpose SASEC regional network as Druk Research and Education Network. But there were key achievements of the SASEC project. We had, through the SASEC project, Bhutan had built a redundant link OPGW fiber connecting the capital city of Bhutan, Thimphu, all the way to the border town of India-Bhutan, Phintaling. We had built a redundant fiber. We had also commissioned a optical fiber peering infrastructure interconnecting the internet service providers in the capital city of Bhutan. We had, through the SASEC project, we also extended fiber to connect all the rural community centers. So these were the achievements of the SASEC project. So the DrukREN is basically the goal of the DrukREN is to connect all the RNE establishments to one common network. We were presented with two models. For us, the REN as ISP made sense because it was the easiest model for our members, for our colleges. They preferred REN as ISP because they did not want to, they didn't have the technical capacity to basically, and also financial assistance to go to EPNIC, to get their own ASN number, to get their own IP, V4 resources, V6 resources. We did this on their behalf. And while we pushed the agenda for the research and education community to own and operate the Druk Research and Education Network, the community, they were not interested because of the valid reasons, of course. And that's when we said that, okay, if that is the case, we have to start the ball rolling. The government took up the responsibility to own and operate the National Research and Education Network, which is very common in the developing economies such as ours. And we adopted a tiered model, cost model, where we levied a very nominal, we charged a very nominal fees for the colleges to join Druk Research and Education Network. We charge basically for 1 gigabit per second, we charge about $650 per annum. But at the same time, they had to also subscribe for international commercial transit, which is based on their demand. So we proceeded with the technical design. The plan was to repurpose the whole SASEC regional network into DrukREN, and we had to negotiate with the government to lease a pair of fiber from the National Optic Network. So National Optic Network is a fiber optic network in Bhutan, strung on the power transmission towers. It is operated and managed by a power company, but owned by the government of Bhutan. So the Royal Government of Bhutan, they lease this a pair of fiber to all the licensed telecom operators, to the nationalized, to the ISPs, commercial ISPs, at zero cost. So the government doesn't charge to lease fibers to the ISPs. So we also managed to get one pair of fiber. We don't have any license to operate, but we managed to get one pair of fiber because we were going to serve the research and education community in Bhutan. So there were about 711 kilometers of fiber that were planned to light up. So we got a dark fiber, and we basically used a CWDM 10G passive infrastructure to build a 10G backbone network. We also went ahead and processed for EPNIC membership. We got via AS 134715. we got IPv4 resources, we got IPv6/32 resources, and also with regard to the layer 3 design, we used ISIS as IGP to carry our loopback and infrastructure point-to-point service IPs, and eBGP basically to connect to the upstream providers to learn the internet prefixes, and we use IBGP to distribute it, and also IBGP to carry the customer prefixes. So I've attached the technical deck, and this is what we did in this week's BGP deployment workshop. So while we were planning all this, these were the activities that were carried out before commissioning the Druk Research and Education Network. So the Druk Research and Education Network was decided that the government will own and operate it, a GovTech agency. But the whole purpose of building this network was for the research and education community. A DrukREN technical team was formed, one project manager, did the same, one network engineer and one marketing officer started this project. And realizing that we need to also enhance the capacity of the DrukREN members, because when they connect to the DrukREN with 1 gigabit per second, we had to ensure that they had the capacity to operate and manage the campus network, and that they would benefit from the 1 gigabit connection that DrukREN was going to provide. So with the assistance from Asia Connect TN4 project and NSRC, we conducted Bhutan's first National Research and Education Network in September 2014. And then with regard to the O&M, because we did not have a dedicated technical team, we had to outsource the operation and maintenance of the Druk Research and Education Network to the same service agency that managed the SASAC regional network. We also managed to convince both the RVB colleges and also the internet service provider, and we basically presented them that as a Druk Research and Education Network, we will be subscribing centralized internet from one of the internet service providers and redistributing it to our colleges. So when we did that, we basically initiated this buyers club. So there was this economies of scale, and the price of internet came down from $70 per Mbps per month to $53 per Mbps per month. So in total, for the 9 colleges and 6 hospitals, we subscribed for 251 Mbps internet bandwidth. And this DrukREN backbone was established in 2017. So we had then established 11 POPs, and the 11 POPs location is basically located to serve the colleges of Royal University of Bhutan. So this is a 10 gigabit per second Druk Research and Education Network, which was established in 2017. This is one of our POPs in the central Bhutan. But we faced challenges, right? Bhutan is a mountainous country. When we first built this national fiber optic network, interconnecting all 20 districts in the country, because of the mountains, because of the terrains, it was very difficult. But for me and my team, it was more difficult to light up those fibers. Because we were using CWDM as long-haul design, there's this attenuation problem, right? So we decided to go initially with these 8-channel CWDM MUX and DMUX, which means we had with us about 1470 to 1610 nanometer, 8 channels. But during the implementation, we realized that we can only have about 2 lambdas with very low loss. Because when you say 1310 loss is attenuation is about 3.25 dB per kilometer. So when we wanted to light up about 80 kilometer fibers, we were reaching about 28 dB loss. And when you add the splicing loss, connector loss, it was more of like 30 dB loss. And then when we added the CWDM MUX, DMUX insertion loss, it reached to almost 35 36, 37 dB, and we were not able to push the signal. So as a result, we had to introduce lots of repeaters in between. We couldn't use amplifiers because CWDM being coarse, we were not able to amplify those signals. So as you can see, we had to introduce repeaters to regenerate the optical signals. So my team, like I'm sure you must have experienced, we had sleepless nights to bring the link up. So this is what DrukREN version 1.0, when we first commissioned it, looked like. We built this backbone network and provided 1 gigabit per second to 9 colleges and 6 hospitals. And then we had also built a capacity of 10 gig to the upstream provider, but we were rate limited. We were subscribing to about only 255. With 40% discount, we were subscribing about 350, 320 Mbps. So this was, now the colleges, if they wanted to carry out the research activities, they could do it with high speed 1 gigabit per second. So other milestones, the project also initiated Bhutan's first establishment of Bhutan's first internet exchange point in Bhutan. So we established this Thimphu IX in August 2016. So through the project, Druk Research and Education Network project, we procured a switch fabric, donated it, and later on, the Thimphu IX was renamed as Bhutan Internet Exchange, which was operationalized in late 2018. So this is the switch rack comprising of both DrukREN core routers and also the switch rack on the top. And we did it with, of course, again, support from NSRC. Dr. Philip and Phil Regnall visited us, provided the technical assistance to commission this Internet Exchange Point in Bhutan. So Internet Exchange Point in Bhutan is a community-driven network run by the community. And we also, by then, in February 2019, established Global Research and Education Network link to NKN with the speed of 1 gigabit per second. So Research and Education Network or the colleges, universities in Bhutan not only now could carry out research activities within the community, within the country, but also with the international universities, international research and education institutes. So overall, DrukREN connected to all the universities, colleges at 1 gigabit per second. We subscribed to the internet from the internet service provider. We had a 1 gigabit connection to the Global Research and Education Network, but we also connected to the other network operators in Bhutan using the Bhutan Internet Exchange Point switch fabric at 10 gigabit per second. So all the colleges students, lecturers, professors had access to high-speed access to the domestic content, including the cache hosted by our telecom operators and internet service providers. But then what about schools? So we were serving only about 8,000 users, and the 10 gigabit network for 8,000 users was too big. So we said, why don't we connect the schools? Because at schools, we have about 150,000 users, students, and we have about 30,000 teachers. So we wanted to provide this high-speed connectivity to schools. By then, the school had started this digital school project to equip the schools with 18,000 plus computer lab computers. And that's when we decided to expand the DrukREN's footprint to cover all 20 districts. And then realizing the issues with the CWDM network design, layer 1 infrastructure, we introduced DWDM. We also optimized both our layer 2 switches and also the routers, layer 3 devices. And then we planned on laying fiber to connect 190 plus schools, 20 plus hospitals, and about 40 something research and education institutes. So this is what DrukREN version 2.0 looks like. As you can see, we have expanded our point of presence to cover all 20 districts. And not only that, we have built resilient network, because that was very important, because we had to ensure that we provide quality connectivity to the research and education community in Bhutan. And thanks to National Knowledge Network, Government of India, we got 5 gigabit per second connection to the global research and education network. So like I was saying, Bhutan is a very mountainous country. We have so many mountains. It's very difficult to lay the fiber. At the same time, it's very difficult to light up those fiber as well. As you can see, we started this project to connect all the schools with the fiber. So in 2022, 2023, we started this digital flagship project to connect about 1,080 agencies, including schools, including hospitals, research and education institutes with fiber. And because the fibers are strung on the power transmission towers, not along the roads, people, we had to carry on our back and walk for hours and string those fibers. Yeah? So as you can see, we procured lots of fibers to connect 1,080 agencies. And not only that, we managed, like I said, the buyers club, because we formed this buyers club. We procured the laity devices, routers for all the schools, for all the hospitals and research and education institutes. And we ensured that the router supported 1 gigabit throughput per second. And we got it at a very dirt cheap price. So the schools were happy, government was happy, because we were saving lots of budget for the Royal Government of Bhutan. And after carrying the fiber, this is how we string the fibers on the transmission towers. So this project took about 2 years to connect all the schools. So now we have about 265 agencies connected to DrukREN at 1 gigabit per second. 195 schools, 41 research and education institutes, including higher institutions, and 29 hospitals. In 2018, we just connected 9. And now, 2025, we have 265 agencies connected to Druk Research and Education Network. So all the schools benefit from the high speed connectivity from DrukREN. They learn coding, they learn basically access online learning. So this is what Druk Research and Education has enabled, transformed the education in Bhutan. Not only that, we provide the campus network design and operation based on the best current practices. My team, we operate and manage local area network of all the agencies connected to DrukREN, including schools. We started this project by cleaning up all the schools' infrastructure, local area network, as you can see before and after. And on the top right, you can see that the schools were able to access at 1 gigabit per second. So we are also deploying heavily IPv6. But we also realized the importance of developing the capacity in collaboration with the mnOG and NSRC Asia Connect project. We enhanced the capacity of the local engineers, network engineers. So in 2018, as you can see, we just had about 250, 300 Mbps. Now we are almost about 10 gigabit per second to the upstream providers. Not only that, we have multi-homing upstream providers. In terms of the IXP, in 2018, we were just about 400 Mbps. Now we are about maximum about 7 Gbps to the BTIX to access the domestic contents. All right. So we have managed to build a strong technical team operating and managing AS134715 and also AS152317. Earlier, we just had one network engineer. Today, we have about 120 network engineers. Because of this Research and Education Network, the government has also implemented electronic patient information system, Buyers Club, of course. The cost of the internet has come down from $70 back in 2018 to $6 per Mbps per month. So this is an advantage of having a dedicated research and education network in the country. So we have a savings of 193 million per annum. We talk to our government gives back us this money to revamp, to invest back in the drug research and education network. So that's why, because we have made significant savings, and because now we want to enhance the connectivity to all the research education institutes, we are carrying out this POC to upgrade our backbone capacity to 100 gig, 400 gig. So this project will start from next year, and we will provide 10 gig connectivity to all our members. And we are also coming up with a plan to connect all the primary schools, about 100 plus, to Druk Research and Education Network. Thank you.
Баярлалаа. За та бүхэндээ дараагийн илтгэгчийн хамгийн сүүлийн илтгэгч манай mnOG7-ийн PCC Internet Society Philippines-ийн